Right. I think some of the clues in the Beumount case, as far as I remember, and that's has been very hard to retrieve kind of memories before um, the other traumas and so on. That there was a cream colored, um, you could say 50 Hollywood car uh, with a kind of big bow on the front. If you look at it in the front, there's a bow, um, which is a kind of fashionable in the 50s. And I think the color was cream white. And there was a man dragging in my older sister from the beach, right? Um, I also think that two of the personality shown on the phantom drawings could be related to the surroundings of the family. I also think there is a kind of structure of the man at that time younger in that family I grew up in, and the connection. The way he behaved is also kind of structured in, laying on the beach in a swimsuit, the pianos. There was some pianos talking about something, and also this kind of almost, oversized operation they had going on. I also think that there was a networking connected with the later investigation, a cover up of authority, like there is in Denmark, which is normally for pedophile networking inside the authorities. As we are seeing in the BBC, as we are seeing in the Catholic Church, which also the Christian and the Catholic Church linked to the case in Scouts activity, in church going, and so on. Also, the doctors is involved and the police is involved with the ID, change of ID, cover up of interest. Maybe, for example, the calls to police on this case went wrong, So you can't say that that is you're looking for one person in these traffic cases. I also think that when you're looking for a loner, a serial criminal, that's the seldom thing. I mean, that the Natasha Campbell is a good example as a person we couldn't find because he was a loner. But the most of these cases with missing person is a network, and it's often inside their authorities, as police, doctors, lawyers, court system. It's a mafia organization, and it will always be that way because they uses the pedophilia activity as a blackmail thing, right? If somebody on the top, no matter how high you reach, is in with a 30 years old or 10 years old or later, right, in a secret place, then you got that man forever in your kind of in this personality for networking, right, in the mafia activity. So the sex crime is often seen as the sex crime with a lovely prostitution that he's seen beside of his wife, right? That's the normal way when people get cut down from political top post or business. It's a kind of affair that was, in a way, a tricky way. But when we talk about pedophile networking, which is illegal, then if you got somebody you can claim or prove that's been with an undermined person in a bottle, in a secret house, on the street, in a car, whatever, then you really, really got something on them that you can use whatever you intend of building a fabric, intending of making a business deal, bank deal, whatever. It's the most evidence of the traffic pedophile network. It is not always for the benefit of the pedophiles. It's also for the benefit of the, you could say, mafia, right? So the children are just a kind of bite, like you're fishing. So actually, the role they have is, you could also say in the film of Lolita, right? Explains this pretty well. An old man gets fascinated by youth, by affairs with something he remembers, maybe some kind of social inheritment of abuse, whatever, and that is something mystical, fantastic, blah blah blah. But actually, the film also have a kind of frame of that he's hooked, he's on a bite, right? And that's what it's used for. Is, you could say that all the people who is pedophile is actually losers and they're ill. I know for sure that the people I know in my life as a child that abused me was not feeling good and they were not having a good life. They were under pressure, right? So in a way you could say the the important thing is that the victims of sex crimes, whatever you are, young or old, it's not your fault. It's not your fault, and it's not your. It's not. You're maybe healthier, stronger, and can get a better life than those abusers ever will have, right? Because they do something, they don't disagree on it, but they don't feel good. They are sick people. So in a way, you could say that you are, if as a victim, you can always say, your heart is yours, and your body maybe have been blended out, whatever. But it's your, you can never be harmed in a way by this as the people who abused you will feel, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? So in a way, you can say that my message here is that there is no way that the pedophile ever will win over their victims. The victim is always stronger than the pedophiles, the networking, the the people who uses prostitution and stuff like that. They might have you, you know, put down, low on money, low on everything, but they will never win.